Good evening and welcome to the October 17th meeting of the Glenville Town Board. Please rise for the invocation and pledge allegiance. Please join me in prayer. Dear Father, we pray for a spirit of cooperation among each of us and an eagerness to contribute to the needs of the whole body. Tonight we endeavor to go forth in unity and purpose as we each do our part in working together. We offer you thanks for you have given us individual talents so that we all may come together and share our gifts for the betterment of our community. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Here.
Councilman Yarborough.
Here.
Councilman Delers.
Here.
Councilwoman Rosbowski. Here. Supervisor Pettsley.
Here, before we get to the town council reports, there is one change to the agenda. We do have to pull item number 14, which is a resolution approving a settlement on a tax cert for proceedings concerning 2575 Johnson Road, otherwise known as Celine versus the town of Glenville. There was an agreement reached, however, we have not received the necessary paperwork for us to take that resolution up tonight in time. We haven't received it at all yet, so we can't take that resolution up. We hope it'll be in the next board meeting.
Hopefully they'll get it to us.
So with that, so 14 will be removed, and that's the only change we have to the agenda. I'll start with town council reports on my left with Councilman Galuski.
Just a couple things to report, Mr. Supervisor. I just want to draw people's attention to, if you live in the Burnham School District, October 23rd is Tuesday from 7 to 9. There is a vote on a capital project. The vote is at the high school, so make sure you come out and vote. On Sunday, October 28th, there's a fundraiser at Mohawk Harbor. This is in response to the tragic event that happened in Schoharie. This is specifically a fundraiser for families that were affected by that event. And that is from Sunday, October 28th at Mohawk Harbor in Schenectady from 12 to 4. I did also just want to note that last week, myself, supervisor, chair people from the GECC and the Zoning Revision Committee met to discuss really to kind of start or continue a dialogue with respect to the solar law as it pertains to West Glenville. There has been, there was a law passed in December that essentially banned, I guess I use the word banned, ground-mounted solar in West Glenville neighborhood. There have been some residents, some members of the GECC who live out there who have kind of voiced opposition to that. So we are kind of in the process of sitting down, opening a dialogue, and seeing if we can come to develop some sort of language or statutory language that would be restrictive on ground-mounted solar, but would make it permissible. With the idea that eventually we can have something to bring forward to the town board. And that's all.
Thank you. Councilwoman Rosbowski.
I just had one really awesome thing to report. The Scotia Glenville varsity girls field hockey team is in the sectionals as we speak. They are, for the first time ever, seated in first place, which is amazing. They are scheduled to play whoever won last night, which is either Gloversville or, I want to say, Emerald Willard, or South Glens Falls or Emerald Willard, not sure who won that game. So Monday, I believe it's at 4:30, there's a game at Scotia Glenville High School for the girls, so all go and cheer them on because it's awesome that they've gotten this far. They've had a fantastic season, and if whoever wins, Burton Hills is seeded second, is by the way, and so whoever wins those two games goes to the sectional playoffs. So our girls have a shot to win field hockey sectionals. So,
Thank you.
if you can come, please come and support them. And my daughter's playing.
Thank you. Councilman Capelani.
Yes, our police department will be participating in the 16th National Prescription Drug Take Back Day, which is scheduled for Saturday, October 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and provides an opportunity for the public to prevent pill abuse and theft by removing from their homes potentially dangerous, expired, unused, or unwanted prescription drugs. And secondly, I attended the Village of Scotia Building Committee meeting last night along with Supervisor Ketzley and Councilman Aragosa, and I believe the supervisor will report on that later.
Thank you, Councilman Aragosa.
Okay, that takes one thing off my list. I will talk about the highway department. The highway department back in July or June or July, I believe we voted on a new vacuum truck purchase. I want to just let you all know that that is now on the road and being used. They're learning how to use it. Let's put it that way. Paving for the year has not been finished yet. I was told that it was beginning today again. The paving company, which was the low bidder for local projects like ours, has been slowed by the weather and slightly behind. Highway Superintendent Capola asked me to just mention that loose leaf collection will start in the next week or so. We'd like to remind residents to keep the leaves off the road, no more than 6 feet from the road. Branches and other foreign matter will be left behind. He also mentioned that garbage haulers will be still collecting bagged leaves up until Thanksgiving. That's all for the highway part of it. The only other thing I wanted to say is I'm looking forward to the gala tomorrow night for the Yates Mansion. Looking forward to seeing you all there.
Thank you. Just to put a fine point on the paving plan, all clauses expected to be done by Friday. And then they will move to Toriuna and finish the middle section of Toriuna, which was left because of the steep slope. There's some difficulties in getting equipment in. But those should really, both of those, be completed by the end of the season. So we're hoping all clauses done by Friday. But I stress expected.
The weather is getting tougher and tougher.
Yes. Thank you.
I have a correction, to correct myself. The game is at 3 o'clock at Scotia on Monday.
Thank you.
I don't want you to show before 30.
It'll be over. Okay, so we are through the town council reports. Move to the series of public hearings. We have a variety of public hearings. I'll open them one at a time. Ask if anyone wishes to be heard at any of the public hearings. And so we'll start with the first public hearing, which is to consider any objections which may be made to the assessment water roll for water district number 11 and extensions number 10 through 48. That public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on the matters of water assessment rolls for water district 11, extensions 10 through 48? Going once, going twice, seeing none, that public hearing is now closed. Move to the next public hearing, which is to hear any objections made to the assessment roll for sewer district number 9 and extension number 7. I'll open that public hearing. Anyone wish to be heard on the matter related to any objections that may be made for the assessment of sewer district 9 and extension number 7? Going once, going twice, seeing none, that is now closed. The next public hearing is a public hearing to hear any objections which may be made to the assessment roll for sewer district number 6. The public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard regarding objections to the assessment roll made for sewer district number 6? Going once, going twice. I thought you raised your hand. I was going to ask you to come up. You just itched. Seeing none, that is now closed. The next public hearing is a public hearing to consider any objections made to assessment roll for all clause sewer district number 1. That public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard regarding objections to the assessment roll for all clause sewer district number 1? Going once, going twice, seeing none, that public hearing is now closed. The next public hearing is to hear any objections which may be made to assessment roll for sewer district number 2. That public hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard on objections made to the assessment roll for sewer district number 2? Going once, going twice, seeing none, that public hearing is now closed. The next public hearing is to hear any consideration regarding a proposed contract with the Village of Scotia to provide fire district and emergency medical services to the Town of Glenville Fire Protection District Number 4. That hearing is now open. Anyone wish to be heard regarding a contract between the village and the town to deliver fire protection and emergency medical services to Fire District 4 within the Town of Glenville? Going once, going twice. What's that? If it changes anyone's mind, it's a one-year contract. I've been told to let you know. So it's an annual one-year contract. Anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none. It is not closed. We'll move to the privilege of the floor. Privilege of the floor is when you have an opportunity to come before the board and address the board on any issue related to the town. So we'll open the privilege of the floor. Anyone wish to be heard in privilege of the floor? Going once, going twice, seeing none. The floor is now closed. The supervisor's comments to the board. Which is fairly brief tonight. Since Councilwoman Rosbowski talked about the Scotia Glenville sectionals, I do have to point out our Burn Hill Spartans are in a variety of sectional. I know the football team and other sports are also in the sectionals, but my daughter is on the varsity soccer team, so we'll just point out that they won their first sectional game last night, 9-0, and we're ready now to go to South Glens Falls and take on whatever team that is. So.
And don't forget to report who scored 2 goals.
Well, my daughter had a good game, so we're very proud of her. But we're not boastful. So, thank you. Few things. I think Councilman Gross already talked about the Yates dinner tomorrow night. Tickets are still available if anyone's interested at the River Stone Manor. 5:30 cocktails, 6:30 dinner. We have, an okay turnout. Could be better. So if anyone's interested or have anybody that would like to go, there's still room at the tables. Let us know by tomorrow afternoon. I've had the opportunity to talk to a variety of different community groups regarding the proposed budget, which we'll take action on tonight. We talked to the All Claus Neighborhood Association, the Senior Center membership, to name a few. We still have an invitation into the Glenville Manor later this month to present the budget to those folks. And so, generally speaking, as we've been going around talking to the different folks, we've been getting a positive response on the budget, no negatives, comments, and we'll just continue to get the word out on the budget, which will be adopted in final form on November 7th, when we'll have our public hearing on that evening. We had a chance to meet with the grant writer that we talked about last meeting. The grant writers come in and met with our planning department folks, our police department, parks and senior center folks, and so everybody's getting to know each other. Everyone's getting to talk about the vision of what they're looking for and maybe trying to connect where some opportunities are. So that's moving forward nicely. We also had a conference call today with the folks doing the Lower Freeman's Bridge Road Revitalization Plan, which is part of that grant we got for riverfront revitalization. And so we're moving forward with plans. Those plans are based off the Complete Streets program we did with, losing all my acronyms, but we did that last, late spring, early summer. And so they're taking all that information and designing something for Lower Freeman's, which is Maple Avenue to the river. This is really all it's going to consider. We're planning on doing a stakeholders meeting, which really, from a property owner's point of view, is probably 6 or 7 people. We're going to try to get everyone in a room and talk about what we're thinking about for that area of Freeman's Bridge Road. Obviously, elements like town center, banners and lights and sidewalks and medians with plantings in the medians, ways of trying to calm traffic, ways of trying to create a destination area. Those are the things we're looking at in this plan. So we'll keep you up to date as those meetings continue. Lastly, Councilman Pitlevani touched on the meeting we had with the trustees of the village and with the building committee members. I think there was about 13 people at the table, I counted. You know, I characterized the meeting as cordial. I think, and I know you two are both there, so you can correct me if you feel differently, but I think it was clear that the village had very little interest in moving forward on a shared facility in Dutch Meadows. They talked about a variety of reasons. I think most important to them is they wanted to stay on Mohawk Avenue. You know, my position was we'd love to stay in town center, but if we could save $1 million, I think we ought to look at a plan on Dutch Meadows. I don't think everybody shared that vision or that idea. The unique position we're in is that we really have to move forward. We can't hold up the developer on Dutch Meadows, and we can't hold up our grant, and we do have our consultant on, ready to go and start looking at these different options. But I think based on the village, and then we'll get an official word from the village after their meeting tomorrow night. They're going to have a meeting and discuss it. But I think we ought to prepare for the fact that the village probably will not be interested in sharing space. And I don't know if you felt anything different.
No, I'm pretty sure that was a feeling in the room. And like you said, we'll get an official word from them tomorrow night. We can wait till then to make those judgments.
And I think it's unfortunate it's dismissed a little bit early without a lot of study, but I think that's where we are with that.
It's unfortunate, but they have to make what decisions they feel is best for the village. So, you know, we can respect it. I just wish we could work together. That'd be nice.
Yeah, and I'll say this, we should continue to try to find other avenues for sharing, trying to save the taxpayers money or, keep this thing as on a limited budget as we can.
There are other opportunities, but, the same type of issues are gonna come up. There's a fear from the village that once you consolidate space, you're gonna consolidate function. I think the same thing's gonna happen with some of the other ideas we have, but, we'll continue to work with them. The door's always open.
Right. That's great.
Thank you. So we'll move on to item number 13, which is a resolution amending the 2019 tentative budget and adopting the preliminary budget and setting the scheduling the public hearing for November 7th at 7 o'clock here in this building. Do I have a motion?
So
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Just for point of discussion, this resolution, as I said, would move the tentative budget to the preliminary budget and also set the public hearing for Wednesday, November 7th at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall. There is one typo error to the budget that needs to be changed with this resolution, and it's an expense account number was miskeyed, and so they're mislabeled. And so expense account number BB00036201002 is to be expense account number BB00036201001. There's a mistyping of a 1 to a 2. And so what that meant was in the building department line, it said overtime as opposed to part-time. And I do want to credit Councilman Galuski for bringing that to our attention. Nice work. But the appropriation of $26,000 stays unchanged. It just goes from overtime to part-time. And that's to accommodate for the potential retirement of Terry Patrica, and where she may consider going back to part-time work after she retires. So that is the amendment of this resolution. Any other questions or comments?
No, I would like to thank the entire council members and you, Mr. Supervisor. We had a really nice discussion last week about the budget. I felt like, it was an open and frank discussion, and I think it went really well. So I think it's nice to know those things when they happen.
Thank you.
And thank everybody, especially Jason. Obviously, we did last week, but, publicly thank our department heads and Jason and other staff and yourself for all your hard work.
Thank you.
If I could just, following our discussion last week, I went through it line by line. I jotted down some questions, forwarded those questions to Jason, met with Jason this morning. I certainly appreciate his time, his effort, his responsiveness to my questions. The supervisor was in that meeting as well. I enjoyed picking both of your brains. I may have more questions as the process plays out, and I go back through it, but certainly eager to kind of take this to the next level, to the preliminary budget, and see what the public has to say at this point.
Whose brain was bigger? Anything on the side? See.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Seeing nothing else, please record the vote.
Councilman Pilatani?
Yes.
Councilman Aragosa?
Yes.
Councilman Godlewski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Petzler?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 15, scheduling Halloween to be celebrated at a certain time. Do I have a motion?
I'll move
Do I
that.
have a second?
Second?
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Supervisor, for the safety of our trick-or-treaters, the Village of Scotia and the Town of Glenville have both mutually agreed that the trick-or-treating hours would be from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Wednesday, October 31st. And this resolution is for our Chief of Police to be authorized to print notices for Safe Wednesday Halloween and have them distributed to the neighborhood watch groups, schools, churches, newspapers, and any other locations deemed appropriate.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Seeing none.
Just to say that I hope the chief gets that on social media.
I'm sure you will.
It'll be on our website too. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Pilatani?
Yes.
Councilman Aragosa?
Yes.
Councilman Godlewski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Petzler?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 16, approving monthly departmental reports. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, these are the monthly reports we received from various department heads. We received them as part of our email. I hope the councils all have a chance to review them, and I thank the department heads for their work and effort in this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Pilatani?
Yes.
Councilman Aragosa?
Yes.
Councilman Godlewski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Petzler?
Yes, resolution passes. Next, resolution 17, approving the town board minutes for August 15th and September 5th. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A second.
I'll second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Mr. Supervisor, these are the minutes prepared by the town clerk's office for the August 15th meeting and the September 5th meeting. Prepared and disseminated via email. I would thank Ms. Neal and Ms. Davenport for their work on this.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, please record the vote.
Councilman Pilatani?
Yes.
Councilman Aragosa?
Yes.
Councilman Godlewski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski?
Yes.
Supervisor Petzler?
Yes, resolution passes. And so we're on to new business, which I'll start actually on my right. Councilman Pilatani.
I have no new business.
Councilman Aragosa.
I have nothing this time.
Councilman Godlewski.
Did you guys learn something tonight? No new business.
Councilwoman Wozzachowski.
I have nothing.
You picked a good night because we're under a half hour and that's unusual. So, one quick thing I just want to point out, I know I think everyone on the board potentially is attending. Friday is the senior center planning session. We're excited about this opportunity to kind of bring the town and the senior board together and the members of the senior center and talk about the vision for the future. I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about the future building Friday, and so that's, I think, exciting. And so I just wanted to remind people, it's a long day.
It's in my calendar.
It's 8:30 to 1:30.
I'll be there for about an hour. I have about an hour.
Probably one shower.
Yeah, no, this is the first hour.
All right, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second?
I'll second.
Moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.